Hi, welcome to day 3 of the 21 days of Pilates. Today we're going to be working with the small ball again. On day 1, we worked into our breath using the ball. Yesterday, we used the band to help get into our center a little bit more, to find a stable pelvis. So we're going to work those two elements together and just sort of get a little bit more of a flow today, but we're going to use the ball to help do that. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to start actually lying down with the ball behind our ribs. Okay, and you're going to find that space that you can keep your head lifted without any neck tension. That's where I want the ball. So if I went too low, it would feel kind of scrunched. And then if I go too back, it's all in my neck. So just finding that nice sweet spot where you can kind of hang out here. Yes, it's work, but it's not challenging where you can't stay here for a little bit. Okay. Then I want you to squeeze your legs together and get your feet down. All right. And we're going to take our hands behind our head, lightly interlace your fingers. So let's start back. We're going to start back here and really just let the ribs flare open and allow your elbows to widen. And then I want you to ignite those ab muscles, okay? So your ribs are attached to your hip bones. Even though we're expanding that space, I still want you to keep it ignited. So it's like just breathe here for a couple of breaths. Remember that 360-degree breath, right? So we're trying to really initiate that breath from your center. And from your center, it allows those ribs to expand. On your next inhale, we're going to start to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. So take an inhale, allow the breath to open the back, and that helps press into the ball to lift you. And then on your exhale, let's go back. Inhale. Fill the back and notice that will help you initiate correctly on the way up. Just like yesterday when I had you with the band pulling back with your waistband, can you feel the same muscles working here? Now let's go back and we're going to reverse the breath now. So I want you to take an inhale to prepare. Really breathe into your back, into your ribs. On the exhale, we come up and you see how that exhale can really get into those abdominal muscles. What tends to happen though is when we exhale, we start to compress. So I want that same idea of creating the longest flexion that you can. So we're not coming in and trying to really compress and shorten the distance. We still want length when we come up. So we're creating that C curve we talked about yesterday, but we're not compressing anything. I like to think of reaching the crown of my head to the ceiling, even though I'm still bringing my chest forward. Can you feel that? We'll do one more. All right, so we're going to stay here. So you're pulling your ribs and your back into that ball, even though the crown of your head reaches to the ceiling. So if I were to reach my head forward, everything would collapse inward. But with the crown of my head really reaching upward, it allows a little bit more opening. Stretch your legs long, connect your heels together, and really wrap and seal those thighs together. We're going to stretch our arms long, close those fingertips, and start to pump. And give me that breath we did on day 1. Breathing that mid back into the ball. Right, pulling those upper abs and mid abs back to bring your chest forward. Heels anchored, hips anchored into each other. All right, you ready for our roll up? We're going to take the hands behind the head. We're going to open up like we've been doing. And now we're going to lift our head, neck, and shoulders. Pull in, stretch those arms, keep the arms on the back, and we pull ourselves up and over. Squeeze your body up and over your thighs. Pulse it. 3, 2, 1. Remember, we're pulsing from our center, not from our arms. And as you go back, just place that ball and take it over. And we'll inhale here. Exhale. Up and over. Squeeze those thighs together. And then we roll it back. And take it open. And up. 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to flex my feet now and really reach through my heels, through my arches. Keep those heels down and really try to keep the heels where they are. So you got to use those hips. We're going to do 2 more. Good. You'll stay up there and then just roll it up through the spine. Let's take that ball behind our left thigh, okay? And then we roll it down. So I have it under here, my left thigh, so I can really press my hamstring into that ball, and I'm digging my heel down too, all right? So everything is anchored into the floor. It's gonna help stabilize my pelvis, and then the other leg lifts up. Give me 5 circles each way, and I want you to really focus on the stability of that leg that's in the ball. Nice deep breaths. You'll do 5 one way, 5 the other. Good, and then we lower it, and we're gonna switch our sides. Again, right where the seat meets the hamstring, we anchor it down and allows us to really palpate those muscles to make sure they're active. All right, 5 circles each way. And then bend both legs in, roll yourself up. We're gonna take the ball right behind both knees, and we're gonna lift ourselves up, elbows wide, shoulders down. Inhale, roll back. Exhale up. Use your breath. And remember, we're initiating from that waistband. Seat muscles, follow your heels. 2 more. Good. And then we take that ball behind our back again. All right, so from here, we're again in that flexion we were in before. You might have to take it a little bit more up your back, your upper back, so that we can lift our legs. So feel where you can keep lifted and no tension in your neck. Single leg stretch, pull, 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 pull. And what I love about the ball, it allows us to really focus on sort of those mid spine muscles pulling back, right where the lowest ribs are, and the crown of our head reaches up to the ceiling. Pull both in, reconnect. Now we have our double leg, but let's just do the upper body first. Notice how that ball really allows us to keep our upper body exactly where it is, and then we wrap it around. Do that 2 more times. Nice strong long arms, strong long fingers, and wrap around. Good. Keep that chest up even though the arms go back. Okay, so now let's add those legs. Reach and wrap. Inhale strong, right into that center, pulling those lowest ribs back into the ball. 2 and 1, and go ahead, roll it down and take that ball away. All right, so now we're going to take the ball right underneath our pelvis and just let your pelvis settle into that ball. All right, and then we pull the legs in and then stretch them up. So as we're here, we can really anchor the upper back into the mat. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe into the upper back and exhale. I want you to draw one leg into you, and as you draw it into you, you're reaching it up And feel the sensation of the hamstring and the seat meeting each other. All right. And then take the other leg. Same idea. It reaches up and into you so we can really activate the back of that leg. And then add a little pulse. And it's just a small scissor. The center of your body is really helping to control these legs. Anchor the arms. And you can make them a little bigger if you feel good. Just don't let this leg go all the way down and lose it. They pull away in equal distance. 4. And then just take it in. We're going to hug those knees right into you. Stretch them up to the ceiling. Seal those hips together. Now we're going to start to lower those legs. As you lower those legs, it comes from your center. So really reach from there. We pull the legs back into us and bend them back down. Stretch up. Squeeze the hips together like you're pulling your ankles together. And then we lower down, stretching the legs away from you from your center. Pull back up and bend it in. Find a little flow with it. Work with your breath. And do you see how those legs are connected right to those upper abs, right where the ribs meet your abs, right? That's what we were working yesterday with the band. And notice how it really controls your legs. Keep those legs down there, and let's just cross those ankles. Cross, cross, cross. Start to lift the legs and lower the legs. And lift the legs and lower. Good, one more time. Find that center. Don't let that back arch. You're so connected. And then we bring the legs in and release the legs down. Good. All right, let's hug in. We're going to roll it up. Give me a little spine stretch forward here, okay? So get those heels a little bit wider than your mat. Sit up nice and tall. And remember yesterday when we did spine stretch, we got the seat involved. So I want you to push through the heels, land those heels, and then squeeze the seat and let it lift you. And then we just kind of let our body go over as we stay really connected in those legs, and then we roll it back up. All right, so we want to try to make the tallest C curve that we can. So even though we're curling, we want to try to get taller. It's not about rounding and reaching and doing all of that stuff. We're working into our strength, not our flexibility. You'll hear me say that a lot. Let's go one more. And we come up, reaching the arms forward, take them out to the sides. And now we're going to rotate. Same idea, longest flexion you can make, even though you're in that twist. So it's not about reaching to the pinky toe. It's about that connection. Come up into the twist, and then we go the other way. And we dive it. And come up, and then other way. And if you're really tight, you can always bend those legs. Twist, look over your shoulder, and we go the other way for 3. Your hips aren't moving. They're really anchored and working really to stabilize you. Pushing through the arches and heels. Heels stay anchored. And then release. Good. And just shake that out. We're going to turn to our stomach, and we're going to place that ball right underneath our chest. If it's uncomfortable under your chest, you do not have to use it. Okay, again, remember our props are just tools to help us get into our muscles. So allow a little distance between your legs, and then your head's just going to fall over. All right, activate those legs, stretch through them, anchor the feet, anchor the pubic bone. On our inhale, you're going to find that center, right? The center helps pull you, but you press the chest forward, and you're going to actually feel the ball roll. And then lower down. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. We'll do 1 more. Reaching those legs long, feeling that opposition of the chest forward, the feet the opposite way, and then lower it down. Good. All right, let's put that ball to the side. We're going to come up, And we're going to anchor those forearms, okay? And really feel ourselves lifting up from our center. Spin those inner thighs up to the ceiling. And then we want to really stabilize ourselves here. So you're pulling through the chest. You're bringing that chest through, but you're also really pulled up in your center. And we're just going to pull our hamstring and get our hamstring to pull the thigh. 1, 2. It's almost like we're trying to bend our femur bone. What does that feel like to do that? Does that get you in your hamstring? Bend that thigh bone. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then we're going to just take it on down. From here, palms are down, legs are anchored. They can be together or slightly apart. And we're going to come up and we're just going to hover like a dart. And then I want you to spin your palms up to the ceiling and start to lift those arms straight up towards the ceiling. As they lift up to the ceiling, allow them to help pull your upper back up. And then we lower it down. Turn the palms down. All right, come up and hover. And then spin those palms up to the ceiling and allow them to help pull you up. See how your arms are attached to your back and they help lift you. One more time. Come for your hover and then allow them to help pull up and release down. Give yourself a little stretch back. Good. We're going to come up to our knees and I want you to grab your ball. And the ball is going to go right in between your inner thighs. And I want you to anchor your feet down onto the mat. And it's a little bit easier if we kind of take our heels together. And if you take your heels together and actually squeeze your heels together and push your pelvis forward, do you feel your seat? That's super important. That's going to help us really anchor here. All right. But I also want you to keep your feet down. So now undo those heels and keep everything parallel. And as you squeeze your ball together, push your feet down. Really be active in those thighs. We're going to try to keep ourselves here as we reach our arms up towards the ceiling. All right, so you're nice and long. Again, keeping that pelvis over the knees, keeping your feet down. Squeeze your ball, push your feet down. And now we're going to start to lean ourselves back. And again, you're squeezing into that ball. And then on our inhale, come right back up and try not to lose the feet from the floor. And we press it back. You can do bridges if you're not comfortable on your knees. You just lie down on your back and lift your pelvis up. And exhale back. And inhale it up. You've got 2 more. And up. 1 more. Up. And then just circle those arms around. Beautiful job. All right, so we're going to go down onto our side. We're going to take one ball under the rib. And what that does is it helps us stay centered, right? So it keeps that rib lifted, keeps us connected to your center. So we're going to keep it there. Bring your legs to the front corner of your mat, your seat and your shoulder and your elbow in one long line. Anchor the bottom leg as you lift the top, and we're just going to go forward and back with our leg. Just like we did yesterday, where we're trying to stay very stable in our torso. If you want a challenge, you can take the hand behind your head, your elbow up. We got 3, 2, 1, and then we go up and down with the leg. Up and down. Point and flex. Good. 2 more. Trying to really stay stable in your torso. And then we lift and we press it back. Challenge it here. Don't let your chest roll forward. Really stay in that one long line, but work the thigh back there. And then 5 little circles. Anchoring that front leg. And then 5 the other way. 3, 2, 1. And then we bring it in. Good job. All right. So from here, come to your elbow. And you're going to keep that bottom leg down. All right, so we're really keeping this shoulder on your back and we're using the power of the pelvis. I love the power of the pelvis. That's where all your strength is. So if we lift our pelvis up, stretch your leg, reach your arm up, and really use your center here to lift you. And then we bring it back in. And again, we lift. So you're really working that bottom seat, right? But you're putting so much power in that center that we've been working. 2 more times. For 2. Good. 1 more. And 1. Good. And release. And we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to take this ball underneath our ribs again. All right. And then take our legs to the front corner. Line it all up. Seat to elbow. Anchor the bottom leg as you lift the top. And we go forward and back. And if you want a challenge, you can take the hand behind the head. Everything is working. All right, we're going to go up and down now. Remember, we work into strength, not flexibility. So it's not about how high you can whip that leg up. Really reach it long, anchoring that bottom leg to help you. Keeping your waist long. And then lift up hip height. Press it behind you. Again, we're not rolling forward. Use it. Stretch long in your spine. And 5 little circles. Reach that leg super long as you circle it. Good. And bring it in. Come up onto your elbow. All right. Again, that bottom leg stays down. And we're going to lift power of the pelvis. That's what you want to think. Keep this shoulder on your back and up. So I like to think of this more of like a leg exercise more than an arm exercise. Working into those side hips to help stabilize you up there. It's awesome. Love these. 2 more. 2. And 1. Good job. All right, let's spin it around. We got to kind of recenter ourselves. We're going to do some bridge work, okay? So I want you to lie down on your back, and you're going to place the ball in between your thighs, okay? And we're going to just line ourselves up here, pushing both feet into the mat, your arms into the mat, using your abs to just roll your pelvis towards you. So just like we did with the band yesterday, where I had you pull back with your mid-spine. You feel that? So that's helping to pull your pelvis, and then you lift up. So we're in our abs. Come up, anchor the arms, squeeze that ball and push your feet equally into the mat. Let's lift all 10 toes, push your big toes down, your pinkies down. Are you on the center of your foot? And now all your toes. Good. Drop that pelvis down, lift it right back up. Drop down and lift. So we want to stay anchored on our back. We don't want to be on our neck. There should be some space underneath your neck as you look straight up. You got 3 more. 3, 2. We're going to keep it up there on 1. Keep it, hold it. And now we're just going to stretch our right leg long, stretch it long, and give it a little lift and lower. Lift so the ball's rolling a little bit. 2 more. You see how your inner thighs are involved with that? Reset, left leg. And 5 little kicks up and down. Try to keep your hips where they are. And then lower your foot. And we're going to roll ourselves down through the spine. Hug those legs into you. Roll yourself up to a seated position. Good job. Let's put that ball aside. I want you to thread your hands right through your inner thighs, and you're going to grab hold of the edges of your feet and pull the inner edges together. So we're not like totally in a turnout and where your knees are going out to the sides. I want your inner edges of your feet lined up like so. All right. You have your arms resting in your inner thighs so that you can push out into your legs and then your legs inward. So everything's working. And then give yourself that little flexion we worked yesterday. And all I want you to do is roll back and roll up. Good. Now, if you've done seal before and you want, you can do the 3 little taps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. But you only want to do the taps if you can stay back on your back without rolling. You want to be able to rest on that mid back. You got 1 more. And then hold it there. Crisscross your legs, sit up nice and tall. We're just going to let our body just rest over. And then just roll it on up. Crisscross the legs the other way. And just take it over. and up. Good. I do like to end you in a standing position because that's how we do life, right? So let's roll onto the balls of our feet. And just like we did yesterday, we have our little roll over. Click your heels together so you have a little distance between your big toe knuckles. We're just going to roll it on up. Stretch your arms up. I know you've lost me. Just circle those arms around. Dive it down one more time without letting your seat sit back. How'd that feel? And then just roll it on up through the spine. Grab your thighs, and we'll just pedal it out for a sec. Ah, pedal, 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 pedal. Yes, and then walk it off. Good job. Ah, good job. How'd it go? I hope you feel great. Your day number 3. But you could see how the ball can help assist you in just sort of feeling those muscles a little bit more that we've been working the last 2 days. So it's really just about breath and centering yourself. That's all I care about at this point. I will add more things, but again, if you're not ready to layer those things on, you just stick with your breath and centering in every single exercise. Those are the basic principles you want to learn. You want to make sure you get in your body. All right. So thanks for being here. I can't wait to see you for day 4. So I'll see you then. Bye.